Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another supplier showcase here on Kerfuffle, and I'm delighted to have Bruce here from Hive. Bruce, how are you today?
I'm excellent, thank you, Simon. Yeah, how are you?
Good. There's a bit of a weird thing going on with the lights here in the hotel, but I'm sorry, I can't affect that at the moment. But absolutely good at the moment. We're here today, Bruce, to talk about speeding up the sales process and increasing revenue by getting your clients legally prepared, aren't we? Can you just give us a bit of background about first yourself and the business?
Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you. So we started off. My name's Bruce Adams. We started our business about 8 or 9 years ago, and we launched a product or service called Location Information, and it generated location guides for every property listing from the estate agent CRM, and it gave agents a sort of a bit of a listing tool, and it supported their local area expert ethos, and that's sort of where we sort of gathered a sort of a customer base, and from there we've sort of evolved and substantially sort of added to our services. And we're sort of launching a product which is kind of what I'm talking about here with you today.
Cool, good stuff. And just talk us through what the products, how the product helps out agents.
Sure. Well, I mean, we've got a recent collaboration with a company called Lifetime Legal, and sort of together, we have sort of designed a customer journey, which enables us to create a property information and media pack, which is the result of sort of legally preparing a client. The sort of unique part about what we do is rather than, and I'll sort of come on to the packs in a moment really, but with all the information that we sort of forward prepare for a selling client, rather than keeping that in sort of the background behind the scenes, we sort of pull that through into our packs, ready to be sort of showcased to a buyer. Okay. In a way that also supports the estate agent's brand. So it's a really exciting launch, and it's right in line with the government drive for transparency, upfront information. What sort of property mark and home buying and selling group, all these organisations, they're all sort of driving, and we're trying to do it, and we're just trying to do it in a way that's, as I said, supports the agent's brand and speeds up sales in a very tightly knit and unique customer journey.
So basically, best practice, obviously there, but one of the big effects is obviously speeding things up, which of course is never been more important at the moment, has it?
Absolutely. I mean, there's no magic wand, unfortunately, for where we are at the moment. I think with the conveyancing side being absolutely clogged, I think what we do is very much a customer journey that can I think from now forwards can help make things a lot more quicker and efficient. It all starts really, and everything that we provide also is free of charge. It's quite handy for me to outlay that quite early on as well. And it all really starts with a referral for an AML, an anti-money laundering check through our platform at Hive. And so although the products I kind of really want to talk about are our packs, it's the result of this kind of journey that a customer takes from sort of having a compliance check. So typically, for a selling client, they'll have a referral made on their behalf by the estate agent through to Lifetime Legal, who will contact them and run through all of the necessary identity checks. Not only that, they provide a risk assessment, as well as part of their offering, and they also have an enhanced due diligence team. So any complex cases with companies and trusts, lasting powers of attorney, they're all chased, and it really takes that obligation and burden, as it were, off of the estate agent. It's free of charge, but I think really more than that, it gives them sort of an HMRC watertight, provision of their compliance.
Excellent. And what do you just to clarify down to the nth degree? What do you mean by getting the clients legally prepared? Just again, walk us through that. What that's going to do for them?
Yeah, so that's actually sort of the secondary stage. So when Lifetime Legal are speaking to the client as part of that AML process, they will obtain copies of the land registry title plan and the register, which will sort of sit on file. It's all sent back through to our system in a compliance pack. But they also provide the client with an ability to complete all of their protocol forms. And this is quite a game changer in sort of part of what we do. So you've got sort of the sort of property information questionnaire that's been released. But also we've created like a digital journey for a client to complete their law society transaction forms. So the TA 6, 7 and 10. So rather than that information sort of, again, sitting behind the scenes, that it's all kind of put into a file ready for a solicitor to get on with a case. But we then pull that information through it into our packs, ready for buyers to have that clarity and information up front, rather than being weeks down the line after the solicitor's been instructed and people have filled out paperwork, and it eventually gets to to a buyer and queries are raised, we can sort of showcase that, really quickly.
Okay, and just explain, why does the service include conveyancing?
So the solicitors are, a really important part of it, clearly. And what we found is that when an AML check is carried out in the way that it's conducted by Lifetime Legal, it's a really effective time to talk to a client about the benefits of instructing a solicitor. It's all part of that legally prepared sort of status or stage. And so we convert people, clients at around about 50 to 60% on average for selling clients to instruct their solicitor straight away. Which means that the information that's sort of gathered can then sort of sit and become almost like an oven-ready file, ready for a solicitor to kind of get on with the case as soon as the buyer has been found. Moving that on to the buyer, obviously having the title plan on file, it means that when a buyer has got a sale agreed, they can then have the searches, commissioned straight away, because you've already got the beginning part of that file that's already been taken care. So the speeding up of the sales is almost two factor here. You've got all the administrative aspects that have been undertaken, and then you've also got the searches that can be processed immediately. And it's at least weeks that's going to save, and that's sort of before the added benefits of all of that upfront information that can be put in a really user-friendly way to buyers. And I'll share my screen just to give a very quick kind of overview of what they look like.
Good stuff. Yeah, please go ahead. I mean, that sounds really compelling. Obviously, if you can save weeks on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it some of the steps are really common sense. So and I think a lot of agents are already looking at taking out property information questionnaires because they know that's the way that the market's going. But we can do that on behalf. When you talk about things like the Law Society protocol forms, and it's quite complicated and there's a lot of duplication. So the online form that our clients can fill out has no duplication. If you answer question 1, go to 6B, those type of things, it's all streamlined, and it just dynamically kind of makes that process as easy as it possibly can be. And then when it's completed, it's digitally signed, and that information is then sent through to us. So, can you see my screen, Simon?
Yeah, we got that up. We got that up there. Yes, so we can see the was it Nail Down Road, Hive Kent, there with the property information alongside it. So, just talk us through what we're looking at here, Bruce.
Brilliant. Yeah, thanks, Simon. So, this is an example of a property information and media pack. I'm just going to give you just a brief preview of a couple of bits in it. So, for every single vendor referral for an AML check, will automatically be one of these packs will be created, and even if we don't convert the conveyancing, the clients receive this legally prepared status in any case. So you have like a bit of an overview of the pack here, which is a bit of a hub of information. So you've got a introduction at the top, a thumbnail of the property. We show a status as to whether that property is legally prepared. It kind of provides that bit of a bit of almost a spotlight, as it were, for a property that's reached that stage.
Yeah.
And then we've got several tiles with information. So talk you through a couple of these. The media links, some agents that we'll be rolling this out to will actually be using these packs as their property details. So the company we've been working with closely, Moss & Barr, they will be doing so. And so we're integrated with all of the main UK CRM providers, so we can pull out all of the property relevant information. So the photos, virtual tours, videos. And so we've got a nice sort of almost like that new Rightmove style gallery here that will automatically feed the pictures in. We've got all the call to actions, full plan, location, summary and measurements and what have you. So you've kind of got that initial sort of media advertising links element of the property.
Yeah, it looks very slick.
The second part, so this is kind of the real, what we see as the game changer part, as part of that legally prepared side, is the property information section. So as a client will complete their questionnaire, which will generate all of the TA protocol forms, that information is then pulled into this section here. So we've got a bit of an introduction, and you've got a kind of a synopsis table that will just show you some key facts about it. Part of what the home buying selling group are asking is for especially leasehold properties to be able to highlight a lot of that information up front. So this is all as a result of what the vendors are answering. And then you can scroll down, then all the information, all of the sections, I think, there's about 400 entries on these forms when you include the fixtures and fittings. So we've kind of neatened them all up as much as we can do into kind of different sections, which can be expanded and looked at. Okay. But it just means that buyers can have a really simple place to go to, and any things that might be showstoppers can be seen at the outset. any inquiries that are obvious that could cause problems can be asked initially, because we all know that answers to these questions can be seen so late in the day, and it can just it can just avoid so much time wastage.
Looks really good. A lot of absolutely vital information on there. And I guess, Bruce, the whole idea is again provide people with as much information as possible to stop any nasty surprises down the line, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. That's totally the idea behind it. We put in things like the land registry information that, again, we're obtaining at that AML checking procedure. Moving back a little bit full circle to our initial offering that we came out with 8 or 9 years ago, our location information product, we kind of fused all these legally prepared status with our national data sets on things like school results, house price trends, some market intelligence data, health, transport links. So, for example, if I was to sort of go into a school, and again, this is all automated, the system that's working on behalf of the agent, and it will use the postcode of the property to sort of pull out, where the school locations are, the different key stages, catchment areas, school results. And so we're kind of really creating a local area information guide, as well as a legally prepared pack.
Well, Bruce, no, thank you very much for that. Definitely, let's catch up with that. We want to give as much feedback to our members as possible. And again, encourage anyone, go have a look at obviously Hive on the wonderful pink site there. See a bit further information. And there's obviously I'm interested. Contact me. If you click on that, we'll forward that to Bruce and the team, and they'll get in contact to help you out. And I'm sure they'll be able to help out with any of your queries on this area. Bruce, just want to say thank you once more. Thanks for getting involved.
Yeah, pleasure, and great to talk to you.
Good, great. Cheers, Bruce.
Okay, all the best.